tonight?
We're live right now.
Oh,
We just went
hello.
live. I thought you heard me. I don't do hot mics,
No.
though some people
Hi,
like to.
everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're live.
Hey.
Okay, so
Hey.
our live with the panel, and we've been talking a little bit about stuff that's been going on and some other stuff, and then we've been talking about this hot rock that Linda thinks is a piece of Charleston, and I'm not sure what it is. So if you know what it is, we found them in Edisto Beach, South Carolina, on May 6th, 7th, 8th, and then not after that. So if anybody knows the origin of these, I have a bag of them. Let me know. Okay. And it's hot because it was in front of the heater and I put it on my back.
I'm not sure what it is. So if you know
Elle's
what
got
it is,
Els. I'm just gonna mute
It
you.
might melt your chair.
South Carolina.
No, it won't melt your chair. It's not that hot.
hot.
How come, Sharon? I'm not a host anymore.
If anybody knows the origin,
Can you mute Elle? Thank you.
It's hot because it was in front of the heater and I put it on my back.
Sharon?
I'm not sure what it is. So if you know what it is,
Sharon?
I'm just gonna mute
It
you.
might melt your chair.
Sharon?
South Carolina. It's not that hot.
Sharon?
How come, Sharon? I'm not a host anymore. If anybody
Sharon?
knows, you mute Elle.
All right.
Thank you. It's hot because it was in front of
Sharon?
the heater and I put it on my back. I'm not sure what it is. If you know what it is, I'm just gonna mute
It
you.
might melt your chair.
Sharon. South Carolina.
Sharon?
Sharon. How come, Sharon?
This is a joke.
Sharon.
Nikki, is anybody here a co-host? Sharon? Elle, could you mute that YouTube? Perfect, thank you.
What?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Sharon wanted to be a host, so I made her a host. I thought she was going to be here, and then now I'm not a host, and she's a host, and she's gone. Hi, GB. Hi, everybody. Granite, yeah, I mean, I think it's granite. You can see it, and it shines really nicely, but Linda's thinking that it came from, what did you think, Linda?
Charleston,
here.
South
I
Carolina.
was talking like
It's
crazy
building.
and
Charleston,
talking
South
like
Carolina,
crazy.
she thinks, and it's beautiful. It's
muted.
pink, and I put some things on it. It'd be really nice shined up. I have quite a few pieces of it, but it has a tale to tell. We just don't know what that tale is. Just like that, Elantra has a tale to tell, and I think most people want to know. Okay, even if it wasn't connected to the murder, which is not looking like it is, what in the heck is that vehicle doing there when it belongs to a woman in Colorado, allegedly? Why wouldn't she have? Was she driving that car? How far is Eugene, Oregon from Colorado? It's a good trip. I mean, she's not like she's just crossing the border like I do into Pennsylvania and comes back. So who was driving that car? Why was it sitting there for 4 days? If that was my car, I'd want to have the insurance claim called, and I wish Regina was here. And I mean, Rebecca. She would tell us about this because she did this all the time. You'd have your adjuster there. When I had my double rollover accident, they took my vehicle, they had it in a back of some auto shop, and the adjuster was there like the next day. Who would not want their claim for something like that? I'm so unsure. Like, no matter what, that whole situation is bizarre. I mean, I'm sure the adjusters don't just go look at it there and leave the car there. That's just weird. Whether it's connected or it's not, it's weird. Okay. That's my thoughts on that. That's all there is to say about that. So I'm more interested now in the investigators that went back to the house, and I'm not going to be saying that one investigator is not an investigator. Here comes Scooter. Because I believe that is really an investigator. Hello, Scooter.
Hey,
Hey.
She's got a halo.
I do? What's that? What?
You're an angel, a Christmas angel.
Oh my gosh.
Carolyn, I'm here, by the way. I kept talking to you, but you couldn't hear me because I was muted.
Muted. The license plate was missing, and that is also strange. Yeah, that is also strange. Now, I had a couple of theories in the license plate's missing. Okay, it could have been the person that, when you have, I don't know, I guess it's the same. Isn't it the same in every state? Don't you have to turn your license plates in? Because if you don't,
Yes.
you start getting charged, and then if you're not carrying the insurance on your car, you got to turn those plates in.
Yes, it's illegal.
Right. So, did the person that crashed the car grab the plates because they had to turn them in? Did somebody else grab those plates? Some people collect plates. I don't know. There's so many different things with that.
True.
I don't know.
I don't.
The whole thing is strange.
Yeah.
Illegal.
Right. So,
Uh-oh.
what?
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's okay. Scooter the Halo was kind of. So yeah, I don't know. And now they have the investigator, and now some of these people, I just saw like the most stupid thing ever in one of those groups, and which that's why I don't like groups on Facebook. And I've always said that they are like, here's the ranking of true crime groups. The worst place you could go to follow a true crime is Facebook. The second one is Reddit. That's better than Facebook, but it's still pretty bad. And then if you go to like a specialized one like Web Sleuths, you're pretty good there, okay? But the worst place you could be is Facebook, and you clearly see it. So someone said, they posted an article that said, and the article was from Newsweek, but it's not Newsweek magazine. It's this faker online publication. And it says, Kaylee Goncalves' family attorney says the police are going to re-interview people that were cleared. First of all, the police have never used the word cleared. They have said not thought to be involved. Well, that part is true, that they're going to, they said this a while back though, that they were going to re-interview, bring back in for questioning people that they had spoken to before because some things had changed. But they post this thing, and some guy literally goes up there and says, they can't do that. That's illegal. Once someone is cleared, you can't bring them back again. That's double jeopardy.
Oh,
I
really?
almost lost it. Yeah, and someone goes, I think that's only if you go to court. Okay. So that's what you're dealing with in a lot of these groups. Just saying. So, somebody said, that's not a real investigator that went into the house, okay? I mean, it's just, it's a crazy Wild West crap thing out there. But I'm more interested now in the investigators that went back in the house. I do think there will be an arrest. I know there will be an arrest in the next couple of days. Might not be
Really? In the next couple days?
might not be with this case, might be with something else, but I'm very certain there's going to be arrest in the next couple of days. So,
Now, wait a minute. Don't just, you gotta give some reasoning behind that, lady.
no, I just know that there will be an arrest in the next couple of days. I feel confident.
It could be with some other case, even?
Yeah.
What other case are we looking at?
I don't know.
Listen to you.
You should have been in the Zoom.
Don't question authority.
So, I think close to Christmas, they're going to just do this. I really do. Remember they did it to Patrick Frazee? We thought like, oh, they're never going to arrest him. They're never going to arrest him. And they did it on December 21st.
There's no other case that we're looking at right now.
I'm going to look at when Patrick Frazee was arrested. Let me see, because I believe it was the 21st or 20th. When was Patrick Frazee
Hi, Debbie. Hi, everyone in chat.
arrested?
Love you guys.
December 21st. Do I have a memory? 2018. I never thought they were going to arrest this guy. That happened on Thanksgiving. Remember that? They had so much stuff on him,
Yeah.
and they arrested him like, just came back like that. They went back to the house first. They went back to the house, and then they arrested him. I think we're going to see an arrest soon.
Now they can never get what's his name again,
What?
correct?
Say it again. It took a month. What?
They cannot arrest the big guy with the morphine.
Barry?
Barry.
No, they can get him.
Oh, they can?
Yes, if they got more evidence, yes, they can. Yes,
Oh, wow. Okay.
he was. Yes,
I thought, okay, yeah, because they didn't do a trial or
right,
anything.
exactly.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, they just gave him a lot of rope.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what you're talking about.
Oh,
It sounds like you have some inside info.
Well,
but-
maybe if you were in the Zooms, you might be there. I can't believe you don't know this. I didn't tell you this. I guess you weren't there.
Who's the big guy? Who's the big guy?
Oh, Barry Morphew.
Oh,
Maybe you'll be nice and message it to me.
oh, we're talking about a different case.
No,
Yes,
no,
it's
yeah,
very-
no, not about that. No, I do think there will be a What is that you messaged me, that video? Is that your tree?
Don't play that.
Okay, is that your tree?
What?
Is that your tree?
No.
Okay, could you message me who that is?
Huh?
Just tell me who that is in the message.
No, I can't. Oh, in a message, yes.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah. We, what do we have now? So, let me go to, everybody always gets so quiet. All right. Let's close this.
Or we're all quiet or we're all talking over each other.
I know, there's no
Yeah.
in between. No in between. Okay, so let's see what somebody said that.
Did I tell you about the guy on the other show that had a picture? It's somebody who was an astrophysiologist, or I can't remember what she was, but she took a picture of the guy in the white car's head, and she had it down to detail of so you could see exactly who it was.
You mean the white
And-
car by the school?
No, the white car driving by, and it could tell
Oh.
who was driving, and it could tell who was driving it by this special way. She was a professional, something or another, and this was a way to tell who the person was. It's scientific. Anyway, the person had a beard and a baseball cap on, and the same chin as JD allegedly, and had this baseball cap on that had a P on it allegedly, that he always wears a baseball cap backwards with a P on it allegedly, and it looked like him. His facial features were the same allegedly.
Mhm.
So this picture looked allegedly just like him, and she does this for a living, and it's a scientific thing.
How many
and
cases has she solved?
It's accurate.
How many?
And it's accurate, supposedly.
Right. How many cases has she solved?
I didn't hear that part. I just saw the picture and explained what it was. She
Mm.
wasn't on. She wasn't on. Just the picture and
Oh.
secondhand talk. But it was pretty interesting, and I thought it did look like him, in my opinion.
You can. I've seen so many people play around with pictures, and when you blow something up, and you can make. And there's so much manipulation. There's so much Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It happens all the
This was
time on here, like the
crazy.
shadows,
This was
the
crazy.
shadows with the Watts case and all that stuff. It's ridiculousness. Okay.
Was it right?
No.
This was crazy. I was like, whoa.
Okay, so now the investigators went in. They wouldn't answer the press when they asked them what they were doing in there. Let's see what else is going on.
Nobody will answer anything. That town is like people in the Twilight Zone or Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Mm-hmm.
Secretive. They won't speak.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean,
Please remember that we don't talk about other channels or creators here on panel or on chat.
I didn't say a channel.
I know, but I'm just reminding everybody in chat.
when does the
Okay.
reminder?
And Scooter, in case you forgot, with that beautiful halo on her head. You
How
do
did you
it,
see that halo? That's
It
cute.
just appeared randomly.
Aw. You're
Really, y'all. I'm confused. It's very bizarre. I'm loving it though. I think it's a sign.
I think so too.
Okay, now, let's see. I had a sense good or something. So, yeah, I mean, so whatever it is, that Elantra is just weird. Okay, I don't think it's probably not involved in the thing. But
Crazy
it was a
coincidence.
crazy thing. And it still doesn't make sense, though. So much of that doesn't make sense.
I know.
But who's to make sense of something? I mean, it's somebody just going to abandon their car. That car still had value with the insurance, okay? And I don't know.
Just happens to be.
And it
That
wasn't
may-
reported stolen, so was she driving this? Was she not? What the heck was happening? Did somebody have it that wasn't supposed to?
Did someone speak to her yet?
Oh, no, don't call her.
No, I'm not going to call
Oh, no,
her.
because the police said people were calling this woman. They asked, like, yeah, people were calling her.
That's
Oh, the
rich.
owner of the car?
Yes.
That's rich.
Oh
That
my
is-
God.
Now, we want to reiterate for everyone there, do not call this woman.
you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, no, I'm just telling everybody, just to make a disclaimer. We do not want you calling, harassing, or bothering this woman. Or anybody in this case. You shouldn't be harassing anyone in life in general, too. Sad that we have to say that and give you a reminder. Let's see. My battery now is not working in my mouse. Don't even start, Mr. Mouse. Mr. Mouse, Mr. Mouse. I think my battery, I think I have to get a new battery in my mouse. So, this is like the calm before the storm. I feel like that, and we're on the winter solstice. And when can an egg stand on its end? Who knows that? Is that at 12? Shoot, was that at 12 o'clock? I think we missed it, right?
Let's see,
I
not
thought it
in
was at the
California.
summer
It had to
solstice.
be.
California, it's only 11:15.
I've never even heard that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now, but I think we've missed it. And I've got to get a new
I could
battery.
try to do it. It's not 11 o'clock here.
Oh, well, let me go see then. But I've got to go get,
Yeah. I'll
don't
try
know.
to do it. If we have eggs.
Oh, you've got to have eggs. Let's see.
I don't know.
Where's our scientist? Where's Hillbilly? I thought he was a scientist. Doesn't he know this? What is odd with my mouse?
Hillbilly, please come to the main office.
Hillbilly.
Mhm.
The aisle 5.
What was the question?
Okay, when can we stand the egg on the end on the solstice? Was that at 12 and we missed it?
What was that?
The egg. The winter solstice.
I used to live in New York. I go by New York time
You-
with everything I do.
You know how you can stand the egg on at the end?
I've
No.
never-
Yeah.
Carolyn.
Did we
heard of
miss
that.
that?
I don't know.
But it's sideways.
Is that supposed to be at 12 midnight?
Never
12 midnight or 12 midnight tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow would be the 22nd. It wouldn't be the solstice.
So at 11:59 then. I
So
don't
wait a
remember.
minute. Can't Elle do it? She's on the West Coast. She said it's not 12 o'clock there.
What is the egg thing?
It's supposed to
Scooter.
stand straight up and down, and they're not deviled eggs, so don't get excited. Please, where nobody's making deviled eggs. Nobody wants that.
Yes, there's lots of people that do. Hi, LMN.
No, they're
I'm
not.
not tonight. As you can see.
Nobody wants that. Nobody's got time for that, Scooter.
Oh.
Deviled eggs. Okay. So anyway, yeah. We have to find out.
Okay.
I'm very confused now because
It's okay.
I've
Can't
never
do
heard
it.
that in my life.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I know about the solstice, but not the egg thingy.
I'm gonna look it up, egg and solstice.
I know that 100%.
The first day of winter. I love fall. I can't be.
I hate
Did
fall
you?
Why?
All is
because
over.
it comes winter. The only thing good about winter is that the next month is spring.
This is so true.
Yeah. I don't know what.
So what does everybody think of Adam? Does anybody think Adam's involved?
I don't.
No.
Do you think he spilled the secret to JD?
No.
A video reel.
What secret?
That allegedly Kaylee was flirting it up at the bar and she was with someone else. And
Who said that?
no, I'm making it up.
Oh, now look at this. He doesn't know the answer, so he just left.
Who left?
Hillbilly.
Oh. Well,
He's
he'll be
probably going to
back.
look it up.
Maybe he's going to look it up.
When did I just said that?
No, I didn't hear you.
I did.
I'm having a mouse issue.
Oh boy.
What, Sharon?
What? I didn't do anything. I backed you off.
I'm having a mouse issue, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my mouse.
Does anybody think that's possible?
Does it need a new battery, Carolyn?
I think so, but I'm gonna find a new battery now. Do we think it's possible?
Yeah.
Say it again. No.
That no.
Oh, I think it's possible that somebody could have told him something, but I think he was if okay, and I say if he ends up being the
You
one
think he
that
was-
did this, if he is okay, and I'm not
Do you
saying
think
he is.
do you think he was allegedly in a rage already?
Oh yes,
Or do you
I think already.
something set
Okay,
off?
he didn't need
think so-
anybody to set him off more. I think if he did this,
This
he
was
was
planned.
already there.
Right.
Yeah, but that's an if he did this
He was
Okay.
in a rage about what?
about
Allegedly.
her leaving and stuff.
Right.
Because she broke up with him allegedly.
Hi, Christine. Barb said she's putting her money on Jack D.
Barb who? Olson?
Barb. Yep.
She's putting her money on Jack D.
Yep.
Okay.
Me too, allegedly.
I don't
Well,
know
he's
if it's
One of the
those
most likely
characters. I would say.
suspects, isn't he? I mean, just You know what I'm saying?
The ex-lover, the lover, the ex-husband, the husband is always the first suspect in
Yeah.
femicide.
Oh yeah, exactly.
In
Mhm.
Yeah.
femicide. Yes.
Come back. Oh, he's here.
Well,
And
how
especially
did
their
he come back?
situation.
He's
How
here.
did he come back?
I don't know. But
Who's
he
here?
is here. Hillbilly.
Oh, he is. Oh, well, how? I didn't see him come in.
My internet dropped a couple of times.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
Plus adding the status of their relationship.
What
Do you
happened?
think maybe I rage quit?
No, I think that you didn't
No.
know the answer and you felt bad. Because you said you were a scientist.
Shite.
You know?
He's kidding. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
When you blurred now, huh?
That's my eye.
Is it?
Yes.
Ooh. Hillbilly, you're a scientist?
I have
Yes.
Hillbilly's a
I
scientist.
suppose.
What kind of scientist are you? What do you
I'm a
what do you
biologist.
do? Biologist.
Yeah, so that I'm stumped on what would
He
you
doesn't
call
know
that?
about the
Astronomy, physics,
No,
Hello.
biology.
standing eggs on their end.
I call it biologist.
No, I was talking about the
No.
egg issue. I've heard that forever. I've never tried it. That on the winter solstice you can stand an egg on its end. I don't know if that's true or not.
Egg issue I would call, let's see.
Let me see if I can get this to work. This is not
Chemistry?
doing it for me. Let me see.
That would have to be physics or astronomy.
Or physiology.
Physiology is how the body works, though.
I'm
That's
stumped on.
bad of me.
Is this lady Jen went to this car
I
last
think I
night
have a
around
major
1
mouse
o'clock her
problem.
time, and about 5 o'clock there was supposed to be a homeless man at when there was nobody on these streets. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked around that car for a half hour or something together, and nobody. And all of a sudden, there's this homeless guy found in this car,
The
and
weirdest
somebody
thing.
called on him. Who was that?
I don't know.
But what are the
I should get a new
chances?
mouse.
What are the chances?
I have to get a new mouse.
Same year,
Pretty slim.
same make, same model, same color. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's just weird. It's too weird not to be. I mean, I've heard of coincidences, but that's crazy. I wonder what the odds of that are.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's too
It's
far
not.
away to think it's
Yeah.
any kind of coincidence.
What are we talking about?
The
car?
It has me puzzled.
I mean, it's a really long distance over a mountain range
Mm.
into you have to go to 2 states. You have to go through Washington and then to Oregon.
But not only is
It's
it the
it's
color,
really not a deal.
but not only is it the same color, it's the same make, it's the same model, and it's the same year.
2 states away. I bet
It's
I could find
drivable.
one here.
I thought it was the car was found in Oregon, and the murders took place in Moscow.
But it's
In Oregon.
drivable. It's a drivable route.
Idaho, Sharon, Idaho.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
I
What was
fixed it.
thinking?
Am I a genius?
In the,
I am.
in the amount of days he had to get there, he could have done it. It's possible, definitely, with stops along the way.
The alley cattails.
It's plausible.
There's Allie Cattail. She only visits us once in a while. She doesn't like us like she used to.
She's always busy, I think.
So she says.
What?
That's what she
Fun.
says. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Can you balance an egg on its end on the first day of spring? I thought it was. Wait a minute. Not only did the eggs. We have to wait till spring, guys.
Okay.
What can we do on the winter solstice?
Hide.
On fire.
We gotta hide for
You balance.
4 months.
Can you
Do what
balance-
I do.
What?
Pretend it doesn't exist.
Pretend what?
Winter doesn't exist.
Oh.
I love my room. It looks like a Christmas village.
Oh.
I spent too many winters freezing my buns off. So now that I'm in a position to pretend it doesn't exist,
And it doesn't snow in California, so it's not fun. And the day after Christmas, it's like, I'm so bored for the whole winter.
Right?
Yeah.
well, it snows in California, just not where you are, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. I misspoke.
Where do you live? Are you Southern California?
Yeah, Laguna Beach.
Oh.
It never rains there, I heard.
Oh,
It
wait.
rains in Southern California.
Pours, though.
so
It pours, right?
Never rains.
It rains.
I used to love that song as a kid, but then when I really listened to the words of it, it is so super depressing.
Which song?
It never rains in California.
Oh, yeah.
But boy, don't they warn you, it pours. Right. Tell all the folks back home I nearly made it.
Lovely.
Sarah, you gotta put a name up there for me.
Who?
Oh, you want me to put your name up?
Yeah.
Well, you can't
I-
have a big name because you have a picture now, but you have a tiny picture.
I'm trying to get it big. Why isn't it big?
I don't know. That happened to me. I had to change my picture. Remember, I had that little tiny picture?
Is my picture correct?
So does anybody, I asked the people in here today, and a lot of them don't remember because they weren't here. Scooter, do you remember my video, the Betty Broderick video that I did
I think so.
with the sound effects?
Oh, I don't know about that. Why?
Because I just, you don't remember that? We were thinking of that.
Well, that's an old one.
But something Betty Broderick came up in my feed, and I did this Betty Broderick video. And I didn't plan to put the sound effects in there. But then when I was putting things in there, I decided to put the sound effects, and there were some people that were listening with headphones and stuff, and they weren't expecting it, and they got like really freaked out. And we were just laughing about that.
You've been doing this for that long?
Yeah.
Since Betty Broderick?
Well, no, not
Wow.
not since Betty Broderick. I was only a child then, but
That's what I thought.
no, I covered the case like 4 or 5 years ago. 4 years ago, 20. What was it? 2018. I did it. I'm trying to remember the date on the video. 2019,
What, did she have a
2018.
retrial? Did she have a retrial?
No.
She's out, I think, isn't she?
Did she get out? No, I think
No.
she's always denied
Look it
parole.
up.
No, she's always denied parole
Really?
because she doesn't
Yeah.
have remorse. They say
Yeah,
Free Betty.
she's still glad she did it.
Betty's still
Free
there.
Betty.
Betty's like, I'd do it again. Okay, so yeah. Cheating bastard. Okay,
Free Betty.
no, I can't find the live chat. I'm having a problem. Hold on.
Scooter, is that what you wanted, or you wanted more?
No, I like that. I like
Okay.
You want to?
Ready to start eating healthier?
No,
Meat, ka-chow.
that's me.
I'm on a perpetual diet.
I'm trying to find the
like-
chat. Okay. Hi, Auntie Millions. So I wish it didn't exist. We're about to get hit. Oh, please stop. Marianne's going to say that we're going to get hit now with bad weather. Listen, I am very, very anxious. Luke's birthday is on the 24th. I still have to make an ice cream cake. I didn't even get the ingredients yet. I didn't even get my tree up yet. I
You
have
didn't?
so much. No, I did not.
Why not?
Because I've had a lot going on and I've really been, I don't know, just not in a good mood sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I haven't done that and I feel overwhelmed and stuff like that. So I now I'm very anxious. Now I'm getting into full on anxious mode and I'm never going to get anything done. And I don't know what I'm going to do. So we're not allowed to talk about that. Okay.
You better hurry.
Thank you.
The best weather people are in Oklahoma. And I watched a guy do about a 35-minute presentation on this weather system. It's actually it's not a typical front. It's a shift in the jet stream, and the air is coming straight from Siberia, and it is bypassing the Rocky Mountains. So, in other words, usually these things, when they happen, the Rocky Mountains pulls all the moisture out. This is going to come into the United States east of the Rockies. So as soon as it hits moisture, he's saying that there's no way the National Weather Service doesn't issue blizzard warnings for
Oh, no,
the Midwest.
You guys are so lucky.
He's like Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana is going to get pounded.
Well,
White Christmas. Yeah.
Thursday.
What's
We're
up?
supposed to have 60-mile-an-hour winds here
Ooh.
So that means the only day that I could go out and get anything done is tomorrow.
tomorrow.
You better go do it.
Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. But Saturday, Christmas Day, is clear.
Sunday.
Sunday.
No, Christmas Day is Saturday.
Sunday.
Christmas
Sunday.
Eve is Friday.
No.
Today's the
No,
22nd.
Saturday is Christmas Eve.
Today's the 22nd. Wednesday, 22nd. 23rd is
No,
Thursday.
today
24th
is
is.
the 21st.
Oh, I gained a day.
We're a mess. We are just a mess.
Naughty but nice. That's an adorable picture.
Okay, so then there's 2 days for me to prepare. Plus
Oh, you
yes,
like my
tomorrow.
picture, Al?
I love it.
Thank you. It's so little, I didn't know if anybody could see it. That's
Mhm.
Becky and Michael.
Precious.
Christmas Eve, 1961.
Is your tree up,
Oh.
Scooter?
Yes.
Oh, good. I have a 4-foot tree on my island.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Can you call that done?
No.
Can you get away with it? No, I didn't think so.
Well, they really wouldn't. I don't think they would really care at all.
Well, then,
But
do they want to eat more or look at the tree more?
Caroline, look at me and Becky and Michael.
I see it, but it's so small, Scooter, I can barely see it.
Elle sees it. She said she really likes it.
Okay, I can't see it. I really can't. Can you make it bigger?
I'll have to get off and do it.
Oh, no, don't do it. Which one is
We
you?
named everybody except for.
Which one is you? I can't see it. It's so small.
Can't you zoom in on it and make it bigger? Somehow?
No, look, even when I pin you, look how tiny it is.
Really?
Nobody has time for that.
Huh?
Look how small it is. It just looks like you can't even see any definition of anyone's face.
Well, how did Elle see me?
She's just being nice, I think, probably.
I think so.
No, I saw it. I saw
You can
it.
really see definition in those faces. Come on.
I can.
It's smaller than a postage stamp.
He must be
No,
in
it wasn't that small
that.
when no, I can see how cute he looks, like the Gerber baby.
Yes, that's my little brother.
Yeah. He has blue eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it.
He was a spoiled brat. My mom's little angel.
Mm-hmm.
The only boy out of 6 kids.
Oh, 5 girls and 1 boy.
Yep. This is the first 3, me, Becky, and Michael. And then when Michael was 10, they had 3 more kids, all girls.
Ah. Are you the oldest?
Yep.
I thought you had a thumbnail and you don't
I'm
have
sorry.
Oh, I can see it in the thumbnail over here. Okay, let me look at this now. Okay. Okay,
Try
now
to get it bigger. I don't know why
I
it's
made
so
it bigger
little.
over here now.
Okay, Kevin, try.
Here, I made it bigger over here because I'm just like a very nice person. Okay, now let me guess, which one are you?
Well, you know
That-
I'm the oldest, so.
That's
Yeah,
you
that's
over
what
here,
I'm
right
thinking.
here?
I
That
can't
doesn't,
see who you're pointing
that
to.
doesn't look at all like you.
Well, she's a
Always
kid.
throwing that age
And your
card at us.
brother looks like Dave there. He looks like Dave looks now. He's
Yes.
got Dave's whole expression on. Doesn't he?
No.
Yes, he looks like a mini Dave. Yes, he
Well, her
does,
mother would
Scooter.
have some explaining to do then.
He looks
Yeah,
like, but
since
he looks
Dave
like
would've-
Dave does now.
Even worse.
He's got that look, like Dave looks like that all the time.
I'm the one with the darker hair.
Really,
Is that-
the one that's holding the brother?
Yes. And I'm saying something to him.
Oh wow, wait. This one is you.
I don't see who you're pointing to.
The one that has the striped pajamas on.
I think, are they striped? Becky's the blonde, the little blonde.
Okay, neither one of them look like you.
Oh my God.
Well, that wasn't nice to point out.
Well, they
Her
don't.
mother's been trying to keep it from her all these
She
years.
doesn't
and
look
then you
like
just learn to
herself.
know.
And I keep thinking that person is the person that's on the panel. I keep thinking, why are you frozen, Scooter? But it's not her.
Oh my gosh.
It looks nothing like you. That looks nothing like you.
I was
Absolutely.
like 6 years old. I don't
But
have
still,
the
I don't
teeth.
see any resemblance. But this kid looks. Are you sure this is not Dave's family? This must be Dave and his sisters. You probably got. I did that once. Don't laugh. I did that once. I posted a picture that I thought was my father.
Still alive that are process through what's going on.
Uh-oh.
And
Somebody's playing
I
something.
think what
Somebody's got to mute
very
somebody. Hello,
here-
hello. We got to mute
think
somebody.
guys
Hello.
in your also want to
we got to mute
members of
somebody.
other band.
Who's playing
Those are the
stuff?
folks.
Oh boy.
Oh, there
Okay.
it all was in there. Okay.
All right.
I was
So
trying to figure out where it was coming
And that's
from.
not me. It's not coming from me.
I got it. We got it.
We got it.
I did that once. I posted a picture that I said, "Look at my dad on this horse," and my cousin goes, "That's my dad." So Scooter, it's very possible that's not your
You're
family.
100%. I know that's.
That guy looks like Dave.
Oh, no, he does not. Really, Marianne? Marianne had 5 girls and 1 boy.
Mm.
Did you spoil the boy, Marianne?
My mom's little angel, not my little angel.
Was he an angel? Guess not.
No.
So now I've got to figure out. I have to color my hair, and
Yeah.
I've got to bake, and I've got to make an ice cream cake, and I've got to get a tree.
This is
up.
all hitting you right now.
Ooh, Claudia's
Yes,
giving
because I
me
haven't been
cookies.
feeling up to it. I've been feeling.
Claudia's giving us
I
cookies.
hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So exciting. No, I don't think so. I mean, I'll call her and see if, if they're done or something by the time we go, maybe she'd want us just to come hang out for a while. I don't know.
I lost the,
We,
You did, but
the girls spoiled
I
their
thought
Bubba.
it
Oh,
was
really?
from
Video Reel keeps talking about they've sent you an email.
You sent me an email video reel? Okay.
Yeah,
Let me go
I'm
check.
just telling you. It keeps saying it.
but they're doing it.
I don't have an email. Did you send it not to the Mommy Ramblings email? Please no. Oh, I got it. Oh, yeah. They want to come on Zoom. We've never been with Video Reel. This is a Christmas miracle. A Festivus for the rest of us. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's for the rest of us.
I don't know
Boy.
what this live is, but it's something crazy and has a life of its own. Okay. It doesn't really matter. We can do what we want. No one's the boss of us.
That's
We can
right.
do whatever we want.
Yeah. And then we can air our grievances later on with the tradition of Festivus.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what you do, the airing of the grievances. My daughter loves that. She always goes, let's do it, the airing of the grievances.
Mm-hmm. I wish we had that
I
back
know.
in the day.
Airing of the grievances.
I would have never shut my mouth.
Can you imagine that?
I would have just, all I had to do was just point to every sibling younger than me.
You weren't the oldest too, were you, Sharon?
I was the oldest girl.
The oldest girl, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, John Wasaki. You get to go to Portillo's tomorrow for lunch.
That's right. I told you I was sorry to hear you were. I
John
know.
Misaki. Now I lost the live again. I keep losing the live.
You did?
Yeah, now I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many things. Like, I don't know about boxes. They have to go out. I don't know how many Jimmy's getting out. There's just so much to do. Portillo's for lunch in Tampa tomorrow. My Christmas tree. That's great.
You sound so sincere.
Well, that's great. I'm glad John Wasaki's getting a Christmas tree. I really am. Be careful with the window pop-up when grabbing the number. Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Thank you.
That piece of finger you lost, it's okay. They'll sew it back.
Hi, Kathy Williamson.
Oh, Kathy Williamson. Hi. It's been a while.
You're going to the store tomorrow and buy tons of... Oh, gosh, please don't do this. Everybody and their brother's going to be at the store tomorrow now.
Yes. Well, no, they won't, but they sure will be Thursday.
No, Thursday we're supposed to get hit. Everybody and their brother will be at the store tomorrow.
Hi, Paradise.
When are we getting the snow?
Hello. Video reel.
Hi, Video Reel.
Thursday? Thursday night.
Don't say anything
Ours
yet,
is
Video
Thursday.
Reel. Don't say one word. I want to do a poll. We have never spoken to Video Reel. I'm going to do a poll of how many of you think Video Reel is a male or a female. I'm going to do a poll. Video Reel, don't say a word. They're like, yes. Okay. That would be funny. They're like, okay. Hold on.
I gotta get out early tomorrow.
So do I. Is Video Reel...
I say male. Male.
Wait. A
Oh, I'm
guy
sorry.
or girl? Okay. Now we're going to say guy, girl. Okay, let's see what happens. Don't say anything, Video Reel.
Let's say guy.
Put your votes in.
I agree.
I have my, I can't.
Girl.
I put guy.
Girl. Where do we write this? Do you have
In the
or are we
poll, there's a
writing it?
poll in the
Yeah,
chat.
can't hear.
I don't see the poll.
Really?
No, you wouldn't. You're in Zoom.
No,
That's
you have to
why.
go in the chat.
On YouTube.
Right now, Guy is winning by 4%.
Ah,
Liza, are you okay?
You got to be careful these days. You can't really assume guy or girl,
Right, yeah, well,
gender non-conforming or.
we know Liza.
Hello.
all right, we've got now 53% Guy, 47 girl.
That's about 50-50.
Give them another minute. This is so exciting.
What are you doing, Liza?
Hey, I'm just getting home.
Oh, okay.
I got the house to myself for a couple hours.
Oh,
Oh
good.
boy.
Wow, you can dance without anybody watching.
Yeah. My dog's there.
You need a dance partner. Well, you have a dog.
Yes.
Cats
Yeah,
are
I'll get a
better
dog.
than you can hold them.
Yes.
Did everybody vote?
Let's see, we still, okay. It's so close. It is so close. 51% say guy, 49% say girl. All right, video reel, let's, oh, now it's 50-50.
Oh my. How interesting.
Okay, video.
Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas.
Aha!
I thought it was a girl.
Oh, I thought.
How are you?
I so.
I'm good. How about all y'all?
Good.
Oh,
Good.
y'all. Oh my goodness.
Are you from the
it's
South,
sudden.
all y'all?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Oh, he goes, ma'am,
Oh.
look at that.
Polite.
Polite.
How nice. Where are you from? Alabama?
Arkansas.
Oh my gosh, get out of here.
Oh.
Are
No,
you,
ma'am.
wait a minute. Is Hillbilly Pie punking us?
Nope.
No, I'm
You-
here too. We can talk at the same time.
Oh, you know the guy next
It's
to you.
good to hear
You know the
somebody
guy
that
next
sounds
to you is
like
from
home.
Arkansas too.
That's right. That's right. How you doing, Hillbilly?
I'm pretty good at myself.
It's nice to finally be on here with y'all.
That's crazy.
No, shocked that you're a guy, video reel.
Oh, really, Scooter?
Yeah, she says I'm shocked.
Who said that?
Look at Scooter over there. Scooter's just happy with his joy. Finally, I figured out.
No, I knew Video Reel was a guy. I mean, I knew, I just felt it. I can feel things sometimes. I'm wrong, remember, because I used to think Snow Remover was a guy.
I did too.
Yeah, and not that I think she's a guy, but I will still get caught up on the pronoun sometime and say, yeah, and it's not my fault. It's because I thought Snow Remover was a guy for so long.
You have to adapt.
It's hard for me to adapt, yeah.
So what's going on, video reel? What do you think about this case?
I think our country is going crazy.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of violence and a lot of hatred in our country, and we got to change that.
I know.
That's good.
Yep.
How?
Love and compassion is the only way.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Love and compassion.
Compassion, very important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people
not
can
too much.
people can try to break you down and use different tools to manipulate how you feel, the way you think about your own self in life, but we all just have to show love and compassion even when we're at our weakest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good advice.
It's a tough case because four beautiful
Yeah.
people lost their lives, and
Yeah.
a lot of we're all guilty of all getting caught up into the true crime of it all, and it's just what makes us who we are. But it's so sad that all this violence is happening in our own country.
It's
Sure
bad.
is.
Yeah, it's really. Do you have any thoughts on who might have done this?
Believe it or not, at first I was following the typical path and the same thing everybody was saying. But if you watch certain videos at different times, you can actually see certain people lingering behind in videos that you don't really know what they're doing or who they are. And we don't have a lot of clarification on that. And at the same time, some of those people, they could just be there getting food, or they could be acting like they're getting food. And that's the whole intention of being there, is to act like they're getting food while they're watching everything going on. So there was a lot of things in different videos from different sources that is just really confusing. So it makes sense why the public wants more information from the police naturally by default, because when there's not a whole lot of information to go on, we crave more. We
Oh,
need
yeah.
more. We want to solve, we want to fix the problem before the problem even happened, even though we don't have the answer, we're trying to find it.
Right, and then there's certain people that'll create
That's a good
the solution, right?
observation, though, about
Fabricate
the
something
people in the
too.
background.
Yep.
Trying to get information, see maybe what they knew, what they didn't know, that kind of thing. That's a different angle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Mommy's probably right. I think we're going to find out something here real soon, actually.
I
think some subpoenas been going on behind the scenes that they haven't been releasing publicly, and they're fixing to.
I think something's going to happen. I think because it's it's out of
Because if you
control now
notice in a
with
typical case, you have to have a paperwork start process before they actually step foot into that process. Normally they'll have some form of paperwork before they step a foot forward into that area. So it's almost like we're waiting for a subpoena or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like maybe a grand jury type thing.
I don't know. I just feel something. It's like an uneasiness. Like
4 people. There has to be somebody that knows something.
Oh,
has
yeah.
to be.
Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people don't realize that they know something.
I mean, we all have to know and think that we've all questioned it to ourselves. How could these 4 people lose their lives in a environment where you wouldn't think it would be possible? You've got people walking around, you've got police interviewing people, you've got cars driving by, possibly one that looks familiar at an angle. Now on this body cam footage, we're seeing a car that possibly drove by that not a lot of us caught at first. And we're all web sleuthing together to catch these things in videos. That's why we were kind of craving for her to look inside the car and see if there was hair in there.
Right.
Because if there's blonde hair in the car, if there's brown hair in the car, then there's a very good chance that that car is connected to the whole situation. So it makes sense why we all react the way we do. But it is a very confusing case, very confusing. The way that all these different things were popping off right around the house when it all went down. And that's what makes it so confusing, because normally when crimes like these happen, everybody says it was quiet that night. There was nothing going on. There was no traffic. But this is totally opposite. This is like there was people walking around. There was teenagers partying, people coming home from work. It was a really active area, even for being so late at night.
Well, yeah,
So
I
it
know
is
that's really not
weird
late at night,
that
right?
we have no evidence really as far as that.
For a college town, I mean, look how late we stay up, okay? It's really not that late at night for there not to still be a lot of activity going on, or people being up, or people seeing stuff, because it wasn't that late on a Saturday night.
Well, don't they say that the murders took place around 4 in.the.morning?
Around, between 3 and 4, but it could be as early as 2:30, 3, 4, somewhere in there. It's not that late, but really, look how late we stay up sometimes, most times.
Well,
but it's a college campus. It's Saturday night. You know, there's plenty of people that stay up like that, partying or whatever. Or what about some people get up early like that to study? Some people sleep and then get up at 3 or 4 in the morning to do something. So I don't know. It's a big.
It was a Sunday.
Yeah, I know it was a Sunday, but remember that I think they're
aren't there finals in December?
Finals, midterms, stuff like that going on at that time. I don't know. There are people get up to run. There's some people that are on the other spectrum. They're up really early. So how does somebody not see or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
And then around town, like if somebody did do this, there's always somebody that somebody tells or some kind of thing that somebody's seen.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And so it does make you go back to the frat house or something and think, because, you know, they're so loyal, but how are they so loyal? That's the one thing. People say, oh, the frat brothers are so loyal, they're not going to tell on each other. But then you want to say that 2 of the frat brothers killed 4 people. How is that
Right.
loyal? Because he's one of their brothers too, right?
That's right.
So how the
That's
hell is
right.
that loyal? They're so loyal they won't
Right.
tell, but they'll kill one of them? Come on.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
And I
And
think when it comes
I'm
to
not gonna
murder,
lie,
it's
I definitely
story.
don't understand the issues in the area with animals being mutilated. I definitely don't understand none of that stuff, because that's next level. We
Yeah.
all know that's next level.
Right.
You know, cultism, fratism, whatever you want to call it, that's next level when you're killing an animal and putting it to display it like that. So that's actually got brought up, and then you start factoring in all these other crimes, and you know there's always a possibility there's a lot more going on here that none of us are aware about. That's the horrific part of this, is if this
Yeah.
is 1 or 2 people that are on a spree, it could be very dangerous for the country. It has been in history. It shows that when 1 or 2 people join together and they go on a path like this, it can be really bad over the course of years, not weeks or months, but years.
Right.
So I
Everybody's
really do.
afraid.
I'm hoping and praying that they do find out something this week, because I do understand, and I did sense in her voice when she was saying the community is scared, the community is in fear. So when she said that
Mhm.
last night, I understood exactly what she's meaning, because when you don't know what's outside your home, because you don't know, it automatically creates fear. And we need to get away from this as a country, actually. Instead of moving deeper into it, we actually need to move out of it and away from it, because there's so much violence and crime right now.
Yeah, when there's a mass shooting on more days than not.
Yeah, it's just
It's
so
just-
much of it.
It's horrible.
It is. It really is horrible. The amount.
You know what's pretty different about this case? There's a lot of focus on the victims as opposed to him. Like, we want to find out who he is, but the victims are really focused on a lot in this case because it was such a brutal thing. Like, everyone is really mourning for the victims and really feels for the victims and are empathetic, and they're talked about a lot, I think.
Well,
When you
I
look
think
back
that we
over other
are
cases,
always with
go
the
ahead.
victim. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
When we look back on history, when, there's this many people murdered at the same time, generally it's not just a one-off thing, you know what I'm saying? It's not just some person that snapped and decided to do this, generally speaking.
Yeah, that's what I wanted
So I mean,
to check
yeah,
out something.
Video,
kind of-
what do you think of the ex-boyfriend?
I tend to agree with what a lot of y'all feel from your gut about that. I think your gut is your best instinct in life, and the way y'all feel about how people have said the relationship ended just recently. Well, it doesn't matter that he's a male at all to me. It just matters that a relationship ended recently, and we all know that when a relationship ends, there's friction, all types, mental illness friction, people feeling maybe that it shouldn't have gone that way, possibly, that it shouldn't have even went that way. It should be opposite. They should still be together. And then sometimes when you have one of the people thinking that in their mind, sometimes things go wrong. So
Right.
I agree that a lot of people are speaking from their gut and saying, this relationship just ended, and it was like they were always together, had all these pictures up, and then it just ended, and now everything's changed. It's almost like everything ended, and immediately she changed her whole life because she started taking pictures down that used to be up supposedly of him and her. So that's kind of weird that you go through your own social media and pick and choose which pictures you're going to leave up and take down of a recent breakup. She didn't take them all down. She picked and choose which pictures she took down. And I thought that was unique of her to make that decision to leave some up, but take some down off her social media from what's been said, maybe before, during, and after the breakup. Possibly all three, she might have been doing that.
I didn't know that.
I had read somewhere that she used to have more photos up, and she might have taken a few down. And this is possibly like something that happened during that time when the relationship, before it was ending, during, and after, possibly. Maybe some of the pictures just hit a nerve too deep or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. You know how it is, like Mommy says, with everything we read on the internet and everything. You really want to do your fact checking and confirmation and all that good stuff. But, sometimes some of these people are actually connected to the person. You learn that really quickly. Like they could be a cousin that knows about their profile, and that's why they're actually talking about it to begin with. So you actually, once you do more research, you can find out in some situations, some of these people are actually like really connected to the case, and family, friends, and et cetera, like the college, a job. So, which is pretty typical of cases. But I'm kind of going with what most people are, is the relationship ended. There was technically a little bit of friction there that was spoken about. So, I mean, that is the normal path of things. In over 60% of cases, it really is the person where the love and the feelings were with, DV is what it's classified as. But in a lot of cases in America, and a majority of them, it is family or a loved one DV. When months later, once all the subpoenas and stuff start coming out. So we just have to keep doing what we're doing and sleuthing together, and at the same time, trying to be respectful as always as well to the case and the victims and everyone.
Of course.
Well put.
I'm just looking at, there's like, what are these, how many? 10 college dorm murders. And just to see what was the reason for most of them. Most of them is a boyfriend. Super crazy boyfriend was in Gregorio, let's see, what's his last name? Orostita. He was never going to win Boyfriend of the Year award, and in 2015, he was 19. He was dating an 18-year-old girl, Carly Hall. The relationship was tumultuous, and he was always accusing her of being unfaithful. It was not infidelity that led him to kill Carly on February 8th, 2015. No, the thing that broke the camel's back was a bowl of noodles. Following an argument over spilled noodles, he attacked her, a freshman at Millersville University in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where they both in her dorm room. When paramedics arrived on the scene, they found him performing CPR on the lifeless Hall. It would later be determined that she had been dead for hours before he called 911. Okay, that was one. That was a jealous boyfriend. Let me see. There's others ones that...
It wasn't the noodles.
What?
It wasn't over the noodles.
No. This is a bad roommate. There was a couple that ever have a bad roommate. If so, you've never had a roommate as bad as Sinadu Tedessi. Until 1995, Tedessi seemed all right. Born in Ethiopia in 1974. Okay, is this... Let me see. Where did he kill them? They come to the United States. I don't have to go through some of these, but a lot of these were either boyfriends, girlfriends, or roommates. Wow. So it didn't go far. I mean, it wasn't like a serial killer. That's what I'm just trying to see, like, how many were like a serial killer or something.
No, I believe it's the ex or the boyfriend all the time.
And I'm not seeing that. Let's see if, besides
Or husband, ex-husband or husband.
Double murder. Here, how was this? Let me kill. Professor, that's a professor. I don't know. Crazy ex-boyfriend, a murder and a cover-up. Let me see.
Got 163 watching and 41 likes. Could y'all smash that like button for us, please? Be so kind, so kind.
So let me see. Apparently Rowling had a report. There are a lot of children, college students that are murdered in dorms. I mean,
Yes.
serial killer was known. So this is a serial killer that killed 2 at the University of Florida in 1990.
I remember that.
You do? Rowling was executed in October of 2006. He had also killed a family in Shreveport, Louisiana, the previous November. He then shot his own father in the face before moving on to Florida.
Good grief.
Rowling was convicted of the murders in April of 1994 and sentenced to die in the electric chair.
Shot his father in the face.
He used a gun. He used a gun.
Rollins or whatever. Is that who that?
Rowling.
Yeah, Danny.
Danny, let me see what his name is. Tracy Paulus.
I wouldn't doubt that, Linda. I suspect that too, that there is people that know.
Danny, yeah, you know?
Yeah,
Danny Rowling.
I know I've heard the name.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Yeah. Ten killers who targeted college women. Ted Bundy, of course.
Richard Speck.
Ed Kemper.
He's the one that really.
Danny Rowling is here. Elliot Rodger. Although he technically killed 2 women and 5 men, including himself, in a May 2014 shooting and stabbing spree near the University of California at Santa Barbara, it's generally thought to have been spurred by his toxic hatred of women. However, a more careful review of Rodger's own words, as expressed in his chilling Retribution film he filmed right before his rampage, in his rambling 100,000-word manifesto he titled My Twisted World, showed that he bore intense hatred for 2 types of people, the women who wouldn't F him and the men that these women chose to F instead. Oh, and then Richard Speck, who said that?
Me.
Oh, okay. And then Derek Todd Lee. And then who else do they have here? Andrew Dialis, a serial artist killer. Let's see, who else? George E. Wells. And
That name's familiar.
Jim Goad. So, yeah, I don't know.
All those people targeted college students?
Yeah, and John Norman Collins, known variously as the
Oh my
Michigan
gosh.
co-ed killer. And the Ypsilanti Ripper. You should know that, right, Sharon?
Norman
That's a
Collins,
lot.
absolutely.
The Ypsilanti Ripper?
Why, that's by you, Sharon?
Yeah,
Ypsilanti,
Ypsilanti,
yeah.
Ypsilanti.
Yeah.
Co-
Ipsy. Just say
Ypsilanti.
Ipsy. I know what it is.
Okay.
No, you can just say Ipsy. We call
Ipsy,
it.
okay. Collins was a student at Eastern Michigan University, convicted of R-ing and murdering at least 1 female student, suspected of killing 8 or more. Collins was said to have pronounced revulsion for menstruating women, and several of his suspected victims were murdered while they had their periods. His first suspected victim was an Eastern Michigan University student named Mary Flessar. She was attacked in June of 1967, found a month later hacked to pieces and decaying. In a stroke of unbelievable nerve, Collins showed up at the mortuary where her body was being embalmed and asked if he could take pictures.
Wow.
And emboldened with each new murder, he began taunting police by leaving items of his victims' clothing at a rural Michigan farmhouse. At a point when his suspected death toll was 5, police found 5 lilacs that had been slit with a knife and carefully arranged near the farmhouse, as if Collins was taunting the authorities. But he wasn't careful enough because hair clippings found in his final victim's panties matched those found in the basement of his uncle, a Michigan state trooper who was instrumental in Collins' arrests.
His uncle was a cop.
That's a lot of serial killers going after college girls.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But this wasn't just I don't think this is a serial killer.
You don't think the one we're looking at right now is a serial killer?
No, I don't think so. I think if it was a serial killer, he would have went through that whole house after he killed those 4 people. And I think he would have killed everybody in there.
What if he didn't know? Or if he didn't know?
Yeah, but I think he would have gone down and looked. I think he would have.
Yeah, but
On the police
that-
website, they
Actually,
have
there's somebody that knows them.
reiterated that this was targeted.
Targeted, that's
either
what I'm
the
saying.
house
I do not
or
believe
one of the
it's- yeah.
residents. So they would tell us. I just believe that they would not take on that kind of liability if there was any chance that this person was going to start killing again. And I'll throw out those things that I discussed earlier. Really, there's just 3 reasons people kill: robbery, jealousy, and revenge. And then you have the outliers, which are psychopaths, and then they break down into various different flavors of psychopaths: serial killers, spree killers. And it seems like there's a couple other kinds of psychopaths that kill. But,
Almost 50 of them.
There's the 3 big ones. I don't think we're looking at revenge, robbery, or jealousy.
Well, now, not so fast on the jealousy bit. If the boyfriend, the former boyfriend, was, revenge because she's leaving, but also jealousy because she was leaving him. Moving on.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I've kind of got my outside opinion. I think that I think it's a psychopath, but I don't think it's a serial killer. And I think it's somebody that had one girl in mind, targeted her, the others ruined his plan, and he had to kill them too. And I think he killed in order to hurt somebody that's connected to his target.
It's interesting.
How could he have, the thing that bothers me is, how was he prepared to kill 4 people when he went in there to kill 1? That's a lot of people. Is every killer that kills 1 person?
There's lots of perspectives on that because, okay, let's say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically speaking, let's say that it is the boyfriend. It is a jealousy revenge situation, right? Just hypothetically, let's say that for just a second. Well, we don't know exactly what would be going on in that person's mind in that state once they cross the threshold to make that choice, like being at the location.
Right.
So what if it was hypothetically that person and they said, well, you know what? I got to do the rest of this. I'm already here. And,
Right.
you know, at the same time, I still think there is a what if chance whoever did this didn't know there was 2 other people in the house at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Well, I think he had a good idea, in my opinion. I think that he thought he could get in undetected, and he knew this person. This wasn't random. This was a directed,
You are
targeted
normally
attack.
killed by
So
someone you know.
having, huh?
When people kill, it's usually by someone they know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
and he knew one of these girls was a target. Not 4 people, not 6 people, not even 2, but one girl was the target.
Yeah.
And so he knew where she lived. He knew the other people that lived there. He knew there were cars in the driveway. Nothing was unknown, other than once he got in the house, he had to get out of the house. And I think the other people simply disturbed his plan. He had probably planned this multiple times. And this was the night he went through with it. And nothing went as planned. And he had to kill the other 3 in order to get out. And the reason I'm even saying any of this is just watching the interviews from people who have killed like this.
Mm-hmm.
They all say the same thing. Once I crossed the line,
Mm-hmm.
anyone that got in my way, I didn't even have to think about it to kill the next one.
In countless
I had to
interviews, you hear
survive
that.
at that point.
Mm-hmm. In countless interviews, you hear that over the years. They'll say they were a victim of circumstance. They were not the person that I was really going there for.
Yeah, dozens of times. It's just
not that we're
repeated
saying
all
that's what's
kinds of
going on
ways.
in this case, but it is a high percentage typically in cases when it is DV. It's a very high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said about the downstairs, the girls' bedrooms were on either side of the hall. So if he were killing one, the other one would definitely hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Would be able to call 911. She would have enough time because she would be locked in her room, and she would have enough time to either run or call 911 as she heard everything going on.
But what
Not
about,
at 4
you know what I'm
o'clock in the
thinking
morning.
about?
No, she was asleep. Keep in mind that they'd also been drinking, including the other 2 in the house, but not as much as the 4.
They got home earlier.
What if, okay, this is going to be strange, but what if he came over? He's her boyfriend, right? He was her boyfriend until 2 months ago.
Right.
They have a dog together, apparently.
Uh-huh.
Let's say he goes to the sliding door, and even if Ethan answered the door, he says, well, I got to bring the dog some medicine. I've got to give something to the dog. They don't think he's a serial killer. Oh, that's her old boyfriend. They share a dog together. Come on in, go ahead and go upstairs. Why would that wouldn't even be suspicious that he would be there. He could even tell them, hey, she asked me to come get the dog. And isn't it better, like, hey, Ethan, you came gone. And right, like, let's say he was getting him after. He had to get him after because he surprised him or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man, what are you doing? You done already? And then he's not scared of him. Why would he be on the defensive? This is some guy that I'm sure he's seen before.
Yeah.
So you had that going in his favor, even if he was caught there sneaking in or something.
Yeah.
He had a million reasons to be there. Well, not a million, but you know what I mean. He could have said, they called me about the dog. The dog's sick. I've got the dog's medicine. I forgot to give it to her. Or, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, you look back on cases where 4 people lost their lives, and typically speaking, we get a lot more facts put in front of us than what we have right now. If you just go and look over the typical case that has 4 lost souls in it, you'll just see a trail of information. Whereas in this situation, they're trying to preserve so much of it in order to allow their subpoenas and warrants to float, most likely, not trying to scare nobody off and etc. But at the same time, not just online community and world, but the community they're served needs more information so they don't live in fear. You know, typically in a big case like this, you'll see like videos of two people walking down the street and there'll be a logo on a guy's jacket, and then everybody gets to work trying to figure out what the logo was connected to. And that's how all this stuff sometimes works behind the scenes. And now today's it's starting to come to the forefront on live streams and everything like it has the last couple of years. But personally speaking, I do think there's a huge lack of information in this case. Even if there is a shit ton of information they can't tell the public, there are certain things I think they could do and say publicly that would be listed that would give people some kind of identifying factors, something to watch out for besides a white car. You know, that if that's all you know is a white car,
yeah, they've gotten away, and that's it.
You're going to be looking over at your front door every couple hours, making sure it's locked. You know, people live like that after going through something like that.
Step back and listen to what you just said. I think you just said a whole lot more than you are giving yourself credit for. That tells me that they know who did it, and they're just trying to get it wrapped up so they have a tight prosecution.
Yeah, there's a lot more evidence in usually cases this big.
If you guys follow this, of course, I don't think you're looking at anything similar that we've seen in the last few years. This isn't a psychotic break of a boyfriend or a husband. I don't think. It's just the knife makes it different, and the fact that he went ahead and killed his way out of the house. This makes it different than the Perdido case, anything that you've looked at in the last couple of years. This is unique. This is different. But you saying that, you think they should have given us this information or anything to kind of help the town of Moscow feel a little bit safer. The fact that they haven't probably is a really good indicator. They've got somebody in mind, and they're wrapping it up.
Dotting the I's, crossing the T's.
The very first day this hit the news, the first thing that popped into my mind is crime of passion. Four people hurt, and all hurt with a knife. Generally speaking, in law enforcement, it leads back to crime of passion. Not always. Typically or generally it does in a lot of cases. Yeah. But I mean, if they're automatically clearing certain people as 100% not a suspect, it's confirmed there's no way this person did it, then it kind of makes sense why they're not giving a lot of information if they don't have a lot to go off of. But I mean, you could just hear it in that young lady's voice last night when she was on here. When she said the whole town is in fear, you could hear it in her vocals when she said it. So it's real. It's not just a crime scene. It's not just everybody web sleuped, and like these people are really in fear there. And she's married to an officer, so that tells you a lot about the fear level. She's married to an officer, and she's looking over at her door and scared. It tells you the levels of this. And it does, to me, that's the first thing that stood out, was very bludgeon attack on 4 people with a knife. And normally those are connected to crimes of passion generally.
Well, the knife makes it a little different. The knife, we're getting in psychopath territory with that.
Possibly, yeah, you're right. I mean, because there is lots of cases.
If it's a crime of passion, you usually get someone's beaten to death, or someone's strangled, or somebody's shot. but the knife changes this. And this happened fast. I noticed in the chat someone was saying maybe there was an argument. He went over to talk. It just for the heck of it, if you run out of something to do tomorrow, roll yourself up a magazine and see how fast you can get from, say, your kitchen to the furthest bedroom, open the door, stab a pillow 20 times, and get back out, and see how long it takes you. Time it. Turn the timer on your phone. I'm betting that this person was in this house way under 10 minutes. I said the other night, I suspect this person killed 4 people in 6 minutes. If you've got a target in mind, you go in to kill the target, and you're surprised because there's another person in the room, and you kill them both. One of them was probably passed out drunk, and then you meet somebody else on the way out, and you kill them too. It literally just very few minutes to do this. 6 minutes tops, and you're out the door and gone. So this wasn't something that was prolonged. We can tell at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it doesn't appear that there's any lights on in that part of the background from the police camera. So I know the phone calls stopped by like before 2 a.m. and they say this happened between 3 and 4. So even the drunks walking the street, partying, the frat house and all of that around by 3:30, 4 o'clock, everybody's in, they're done, it's quiet. This person was waiting for that moment, got in the back door, killed 4 people, and was gone in very few minutes. And so
what if they
because of the action,
what if they were waiting for their opportunity, but they were already in the house? We don't know that they could have been in the closet, waiting.
That's what I keep thinking. For some reason, I keep thinking he was already in there waiting.
Right.
That just comes into my head. I don't know why.
Right, and we don't know. Okay, we don't know either that when the other roommates got home, he could have seen them too and said, "Oh, the dog needs medication. I'm just going to go up and take care of the dog," or whatever the dog was. And if they went downstairs, how do they know he left or he didn't leave? Too, because everybody's acting like this. If it was him, if it was an ex-boyfriend, then he wouldn't have to sneak into the house. He had a perfect reason to be at the house with the dog.
Right.
And they might not have released.
They were calling, wasn't he?
Yes, they were calling him, right? Mm-hmm.
Which is so odd.
Maybe he left something there. Maybe he left a note there.
Have you done a walkthrough on that house?
Have I done?
I watched the Gray did a pretty decent, like a 3D presentation.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool.
It would be difficult to hide. Very difficult to hide in the house. Not to
hide from maybe, they were all drinking and...
Well, didn't they have a closet? He could sit in a closet, right? They must have had a closet.
Yeah, I mean, it's always possible, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think it'd be easy
if
for
they're college girls, if you could even put something on a hanger in a college girl's closet, I'd be kind of shocked about that. I don't see a hiding person. I think that they waited till the lights went out. They knew they could get in that sliding door.
What if he went in there and did go by and left something there? That the reason they call, I don't know. I think he could definitely hide in there.
Maybe.
Even if he laid under their bed.
It's so risky to hide in a house where 6 people live.
But why is it risky? Because they know him.
Oh, you're saying you're dead set on it being...
No, I'm saying if it was him, they know him. So nothing about him being there, it seems risky to me.
So That's not how I would do it.
No, but I'm saying, I'm not
I mean,
saying that he
if-
even did
if-
this, but I'm saying that even like, it's not like, oh my gosh, what if somebody sees me going in the door? He's got every reason to say, hey, I'm worried about the dog. Look, he left his I left his medication here. I'm just going to run this upstairs.
And the minute they find the dead body the next day, whoever he said that to is
But what if
going
they're
to
all
say,
what if they're all dead? What if the
Yeah,
only
you're
ones they
talking
didn't know
about-
were the girls downstairs? What if he had to kill Ethan and the girlfriend because they knew?
What if it,
I don't know of a case where that's actually happened though.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just just saying. It's
I
not.
mean,
Why-
he would have had to set out to kill multiple people, and that's rare.
Actually, it's not as uncommon as you might think. Actually, it's
Plotting
actually
to kill
not.
multiple people.
Yeah, because in premeditated murder cases, when you go back and listen to the documentaries and the case studies, they actually they break it down how people plan ahead before they go to do it.
Hi, Danielle.
I'll do some digging tomorrow and see if I can find any examples of that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Danielle. Hope she feels better.
oh, hi Danielle.
I don't know. I just like, okay. Let's say even he went
Wait,
in.
this is one option too, even if it was him. And they're calling him 9 times. Maybe he had the dog and that was like a ruse and they kept calling, you got the dog, you got the dog, you got the dog. And he brings the dog over. I don't know, I'm just thinking of, brings the dog over, but he's also got a knife with him and all this stuff. I don't know.
And I keep going back to it just seems like they could compel him to get a swab and they could have made an arrest within 24 hours. And they say on the police website that he's not a suspect at this time, or however they word
say
it.
he's not believed to be involved.
Okay.
But then
yeah.
they said after that, they said that they are doing additional interviews with people that they've already interviewed because things have changed or something to those lines.
They did say that.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, in most homicides, the number one suspect is the spouse.
Right, or the boyfriend, the girlfriend, partner.
So, right then, that day, they would have compelled him, okay, and without a subpoena, without a warrant, without anything. They could have said, hey, we've got this to do. Everybody knows this. The boyfriend's always a suspect. It's always the spouse. So let's swab your mouth. And I guarantee you they've got DNA results back. There's no doubt. I just think that if he was the one, he'd be in jail.
No, yeah.
Even so,
yeah.
I still think he's got to be in the top 5.
Yeah, but they wanted a conviction, not an arrest. They want to be very careful. They want to make totally sure.
That's true too.
Yeah, you can't call anyone into the discussion room ever, because if you don't have your poker hand set right, the first thing they're going to say is, I need to speak to my attorney.
Of course.
That's why you got to be careful.
They need to try to get him without the attorney, if they can.
What if he didn't give the DNA sample?
See, that's
He
a
may not
thing.
have. He may not have.
Couldn't they get that from his garbage? Or are they not allowed to do that?
Unless he's being very careful.
Well, they can get an order to force him to do it.
I don't know. Because, like, on all the TV shows, they can.
Actually, it's not as hard as a lot of people might think, because he's the ex-boyfriend in a multi-person murder investigation. So in a lot of cases, they can actually get immediate warrants within 24 hours.
Oh, well, that's
Actually.
good. DNA is all over that house.
It would
my
depend on the
brother.
state, but
Because
they're
of the
almost always
relationship.
going to err on the side of getting an arrest. Right?
But
So
his DNA is all over that house.
well, DNA's not a magic bullet. It's not always stable depending on what the source either. That's why in theory you have DNA in your hair. If you want to get it sequenced, you have to have the root. Mm-hmm. So it's there's DNA everywhere, but it's not, you can't do a PCR on just any kind of DNA. And so.
Well, doesn't it have to have a certain amount of identifiable characteristics?
It just has to have a cellular structure that is still viable.
Mm-hmm.
And while, he's going to have his DNA in that house, it's not going to be on the clothes from that night.
Wouldn't they be able to get it like off of a can of something he was drinking from his garbage or something like that?
Yeah. They've actually followed people to see if they throw away a cigarette butt or something like that and pick it up.
I just don't think they'd have to. I think he would be eager to give it up. And if he wasn't eager to give it up, then he gets moved to the top of the list. And they tell him that. I promise you a cop would tell him, look, here's the deal. You're suspect number one. You want to get cleared? Let me swab your jaw.
He probably figures his DNA is all over that house.
And he may think he can say, I've been in that house many times. Of course, my DNA is going to be in the house.
It's not going to be under her fingernails or in her hair or on her clothes.
But they wouldn't tell him where they found it. They would they might just say to him, it's a match. He might say, well, I've been in the house. I'm just saying what he might say. But they might not say, well, we found it under fingernail, get more specific.
Yeah, all that stuff gets a numerical code.
He might say sex that day.
What'd you say, Al?
He might say they had sex that day or the day before.
It wouldn't be in her hair or on her clothes from.
Right, and look at the guys that Michael Peterson, when his wife, he laid all over her, trying to say that he was giving her CPR and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So many of them do that.
Well, we
don't know.
We have a good timeline for they can account for pretty much
here's
every
the thing:
minute
we
of
don't
her.
know who was at the house. Okay, hold on a minute. We don't know. They called friends, but we were never given a list of who was at that house.
Right.
How do we know she didn't call him too, or he didn't come, and then throw himself all over her?
Now say that again, please.
We don't know what happened.
We don't know.
Okay, the girls, when they woke up, they called friends. Friends came over before the 911 call. People in the house.
Right, yeah.
We don't know who was there. What if one of those people was Jack, if he was there? What if when they called him, he threw himself all over her?
I heard Jack was allegedly there. I heard that many times.
You would think he would be.
Threw himself on the body,
like tried to do CPR, like you can't be gone, and then tried to do CPR on them.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly,
yeah. I don't think anybody would get on a body that's been stabbed multiple times.
If your life, if it comes by to your life, and you have to get
save your.
Yeah, but it had to be DNA that was post-mortem. Like, if there's defense and there's DNA under the nails, that means they were still fighting for their life. If it's DNA connected where, he threw himself on the girls, or whatever, then that's different. That's post-mortem kind of DNA. But under your nail, that's defensive. You're fighting. You're still alive.
He'd fight it
Video
with,
real? Do you
fight it
deer
with a lawyer.
hunt?
He'd fight it with a lawyer. Allegedly.
Because they're not going to be scratching you. They're already gone. So whoever's DNA would be, say, for instance, under their nails, well, that wouldn't be the person that came after they were already gone.
Well, we know one of them fought. They said so.
Zana. It's been
I just
said.
think there's probably so much blood on that scene. Nobody's getting, we have a natural aversion to things like that. I mean, we're talking a lot of blood.
But there's been a lot of murders where the people have thrown themselves on the bodies afterwards, and they've been guilty, and they do that.
Yeah.
Like even stabbings.
Mm-hmm. At that point, they did that, and it's the person that they love. I mean, I'm.
Kathy Williamson says they never questioned him. I believe he left town. I think he will kill again, though. Breakups tend to get dangerous if they are so inclined. My ex threatened to kill my parents and me when I was going away to college. I lived in total fear and never told a soul.
Yeah, every case is unique and different. Every single case is unique.
Well, we
and
know
different.
he didn't leave because we've got pictures of him with his mom.
No, but he's in Coeur d'Alene, maybe with his parents.
Coeur d'Alene, right?
Yeah.
With the dog and his family.
So that was that day?
No.
Was that the day?
It was the next day when they released the dog.
Oh,
then we've seen him at the
memorial.
Yeah. The university had. So it's not gone. He's been with the family. He's been with his family. So that's inaccurate.
Let me see something.
You know, and you were saying before about, okay, say for instance, he did come and gave kind of the bogus excuse and they thought he was being all friendly and nice and something about the dog and whatever. I'm just trying to picture him, if it is him on his own, maintaining composure and then all of a sudden just doing that. You know, it would take a lot to go from A to Z and kind of carry on a normal conversation like you're there just innocently. I mean, it can happen, but it's creepy to think that someone would just be like, hey, how's it going? I'm just stopping by. And then all
He'd
of a
also
sudden,
have to be in that house for 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't think there was any way the girls knew he was in that house if he was in that house allegedly.
Oh, Auntie Million says that's the other Jack. The other Jack left town allegedly.
Yeah.
No, he did not go to Africa or anything. Too. They were all those.
That was all false.
Yeah, all false.
That was from TikTok videos, and that's not true. And the police are also saying that he's not connected with the murders.
Who's not?
Doesn't mean that it won't come back around, but currently that's how. If you will go to the Moscow, and that's how they pronounce it, by the way, is Moscow, not Moscow, but Moscow police website. They have a list of everything that they've released, plus a list of every rumor that they have shot down, and there's a whole lot of information there. And so you can see that some of these things that keep coming up every day have already been debunked.
also, I can't really figure out how, I guess it could happen, that someone could walk through, say for instance, or not get any blood on the soles of their shoes or something and leave some kind of footprints. Now, if other people came in and they stepped in the blood, well, they could prove, yeah, I have those shoes, but there would be some footprints that weren't identified by anyone that admits to being there, kind of thing. You know, someone that didn't match any of those. I just would think there'd be some kind of footprints from people too, in such a bloody scene. I don't know.
Booties,
Maybe.
layers of booties.
But even though I heard that even if you put those on or any kind of protective anything, forensically, like if you take that off, say when you're leaving, you will leave some kind of blood trace behind or something. Even they said it's really more difficult than you think to wear protective stuff and still not leave any trace forensically. I don't know. Yeah, it's a tough one. I have a feeling we're going to find out pretty soon. I could be completely wrong, but because it's only a feeling. But
I agree. I bet by the end of the week.
that's what I was kind of thinking. I was thinking that the other day. But I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
If there's any way they can, they will, because everybody wants to go home for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of the on the ground reporters been by the police station to give us a shot of the FBI? Do they still have a workstation set up in the parking lot?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be taken down until the case is solved.
Yeah, I know they have listed on the website, they have 62 agents working on the case, plus I think, 4 or 6 detectives from the city and another dozen or so from the state police. I don't recall now, but that's a lot of people that want to get this wrapped up way more than we do.
If y'all could, just give that like button a smash. Thank you.
Good job, Video Reel. Good job.
Yeah, that sounded so soothing.
So official.
Yeah.
How could you say no to that?
I asked you earlier if you deer hunt.
I used to. I quit a few years back.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could explain to everybody how much blood comes out of a deer.
Oh, it's a lot.
Surprisingly a lot.
More than a human. A whole lot.
How do you know that?
He was hunting deer.
No, he didn't. He said more than a human.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think so, but
You don't think it's more than a human?
no.
It's a freaking lot. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's a lot. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like, I had a plastic gallon water jug on a bottom shelf in my pantry, and the seam of it got a little pinhole in it. And you wouldn't believe how much surface area 1 gallon of water can cover in your dining room.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's there's no way anyone came out of there without blood on them that went in that house. Which is why I don't think too many people went too far in after the fact. It's just that when you see that much blood, like from an animal, like when you've got a deer hung up and you're butchering an animal for food, even the person that shot that deer is, kind of sketchy about all the blood that's everywhere. It's just, we have a natural aversion to it.
Yeah.
Well, I just Googled it, and it says that a mature deer, I think it said white-tailed, about 8 pints of blood and a human about 10.
Okay.
Very close then, yeah.
The same thing. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's
It's a
definitely a
lot.
lot. Some people even get sick. Like the first time people see it for the first time, they actually throw up because they don't expect it when you're cleaning the meat and everything and starting the process. They don't expect it. It's a lot.
And I was talking a week or so ago about people get tremors that they can't control after they've shot a deer.
Okay.
I think that's probably.
You've heard it called buck fever.
Yeah, buck fever. Yeah.
Yeah, people they call it buck fever. You start trembling uncontrollably because of the adrenaline rush, and so I suspect anyone that hurt another person would probably be affected in a similar manner.
See, that's the thing is I don't even know if this was a horrific bloody crime scene technically. We don't technically know that, do we? If this was really...
Oh, it had to be.
Well, they said it, yeah. They said it was a horrific scene. And that blood was seeping on the foundation.
Oh, Lord.
Through the walls, yeah.
Wow. That's horrific. Yeah, I definitely must have missed... In the article said it went into that definition of it. I didn't know it was that horrific. Even after watching the 3D scene from Gray and everything, I didn't know it was that bad. If it's dripping from foundation and stuff, that is horrific.
Have they ever come out and said that was definitely blood?
Yeah, they said about seeping from the walls early on, and then who said it?
No, she's talking about the ones outside on the blocks.
Outside, yeah, the one on the cabinets. No, that stuff that hasn't been confirmed as blood. But outside, they said, yes, I believe that was one of the things.
Yeah,
the one outside is confirmed.
That's awful.
Well, it's
See, that just goes even deeper into the whole crime of passion thing. If it really was that horrific,
they either said it was confirmed or that it looks that way. It's the way it's coming. They went through that. They said that it's been photographed. That photographs were there from the certain time. That's very likely. But the ones that are in the cabinets, something wasn't there, and then it was there or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't see anything about cabinets.
Yeah.
The not having footprints outside, but we don't know that there weren't any inside, right?
No, we don't know anything about the inside.
Okay, so not outside. I guess they could just take their shoes off and clean their feet or clean them before they left.
They could, but they'd have. I mean, there would be so much blood. That's the thing that's so crazy.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of how they could have done that, and all I can think of is removing their shoes, maybe put them in a bag or something. It's weird to think that someone would have the presence of mind to do something like that, and because we're thinking this is probably a first timer, and you think they'd be like, kind of rattled at this point, but I guess they're probably also thinking of self-preservation more than anything at that moment.
Yeah.
How do I not get caught
look at
now?
Jodi Arias. She didn't get any blood outside when we've looked and we've read this book, and there's the pictures of the crime scene, and there's a beige rug from Travis's door down the stairs and everything, and there is no blood whatsoever on that. The blood is contained in the bathroom and in an area going into the bedroom, but even his bedroom, there's no blood.
Yeah.
And then remember, she went down and up to the laundry room to bring things down there. She had to get down to the car. She didn't get any blood anywhere like that. So it is possible to exit a very, very bloody scene and not get blood outside of that scene.
Mm-hmm. What I'm hoping is that inside the crime scene, there's like a lot of DNA evidence, even if the person did not cut themselves, which just would be weird that they didn't. But even if they didn't, I'm hoping that maybe they vomited because it's, happened many times that, brutal murders or, someone gets sick after committing acts like that. Someone I know was in the military and got sick the first time they had to take a life. And, they'd trained for it for years. And this person just, walked in there and did that. And it was very up close and personal. You'd think that they might.
Something here.
I mean, I can't imagine seeing all that blood and not become.
If you want to check the internal chat, you can see what happens to someone their first time they kill an animal. It's just, you can watch 15 seconds and see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's very common from grown men down to kids. When you go hunting, that's real typical of what happens.
Yeah. I'm sure it's
I'll put the link in the chat.
I'm sure no matter how much you've, thought about it, like if you're going to deer hunting and, you know that you're going to kill a deer and clean it, stuff like that, there's nothing that can prepare you for the actual aftermath of killing until you've actually been there. And,
And state of mind, because when you're hunting, you have a particular state of mind. If you're doing a frenzied, and they said that the wounds were gouges, like open gouges, you're doing like a frenzied attack, your mind is in a different place about what you're doing than if you're intentionally hunting. You're not in the same head. Yes, you're killing, but not in the same headspace.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping that there's, a lot of DNA evidence, so when they do find, people, that they will be able to match them quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they left other, hair and things like that. And it's going to be a problem, if it's somebody who was close to them, who's in the house often, but, if they toss their cookies or, blood, then we're in luck, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think even Chris Watts got sick, didn't he?
I don't know.
Well, he defecated. Remember when somebody had to go dig through that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever heard. There was some vomit, but they never got into whose that was.
Oh, I guess I assumed it was him.
So much remains unknown when a person pleads guilty or strikes a plea bargain or something. There's just so much that remains unknown forever.
Yeah, sometimes there is a lot of variables going on behind the scene that we don't even know about.
I've been trying to think of ways that it's not the ex-boyfriend, because it's so obvious, like the obvious suspect.
Right, I know.
But
yeah,
he does seem to be the most likely. But it would be so weird if it is him, because I mean, if it is him, he's probably the stupidest person on the planet, because he would have to know that he'd be the most obvious suspect.
Yeah, that's the main reason I don't think he was there any earlier, is because, killing your ex-girlfriend's one thing. Slaughtering everybody in a house is a whole different kind of personality. And he would have known that he was going to be a suspect. if
Mm-hmm.
he sat and talked to anybody prior to the and the timeline right now, I believe they have the young man, the couple, home by 1, and the
Mm-hmm.
others home by 1:48.
Mm-hmm.
No, 1:50 something, and then
Yeah.
They are pretty adamant that the murders occurred between 3 and 4. So
That's what I.
that's a pretty
Yeah.
long stretch, and it's in the middle of the night. I know who my money's on.
Well,
It's-
what time frame again were they making the phone calls?
It was gosh, it was
Two-
around
2:32 to 2:40, something like that, to 46
Yeah.
or something like that.
Oh,
Somewhere in
was
there.
it that late? I must have my times wrong. then.
Mhm.
makes you wonder if, like, he woke up and saw the missed calls and went over there, But, his roommates say he never left his room, but
But how
'Cause
closely were they paying attention? We don't
Yeah.
know what his roommates were doing, or he could just
Yeah.
say, "Hey, just tell them I was sleeping." I mean,
Yeah.
could they have missed it,
Oh yeah, and alcohol involved with that too. And we can go back to this was a big football game weekend. They were playing UC Davis in their dome stadium, and it was a big event. And as I said, I've lived with roommates when I was in college. You could probably walk right past one of my roommates and go out the door and come back the next day and ask if I left, and they wouldn't know. You just don't
Yeah.
pay that much attention to roommates coming and going.
Yeah.
And
The only thing
it was 3 o'clock in the morning. That they're likely passed out or just asleep. Either way, you wouldn't know.
The only thing that really puzzles me at this point, if it was the ex-boyfriend, is why they wouldn't have made an arrest by now, because it seems like there would have been evidence, some kind of evidence to tie him by now,
Yeah, right. Somehow I have a feeling we're going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for hitting the like button.
I hate to speculate about potentially innocent people, because it makes me feel a little bad, but I have wondered if possibly like somebody who came and worked on the house.
well, like
Something
who
like
did
that.
who did their like maintenance and stuff? Did they have a maintenance person there?
Yeah, because when I was living in Georgia, I had just moved out of this apartment complex and bought my home. And 6 months later, the maintenance man killed. I worked as a preschool teacher, and maintenance man killed one of the mothers who lived there. He just seen her and decided to go in there when he knew she was alone. Just out of the blue.
But would he come at 3 in the morning?
It wasn't 3 in the morning. It was the middle of the afternoon.
No. I'm saying with them.
Yeah, no. No, but I mean, could he have targeted the house because, he had, become obsessed with one of the girls or something like that?
Kathy Williamson says the ex comes from a wealthy and prominent people. Is that
No.
right?
No,
No?
they're not
No,
wealthy. They live in a small house. They're teachers. They're middle class.
Yeah. She's thinking about probably Jack Showalter, whose parents are doctors.
Oh.
Everybody always says that about people. Right? They must have been Freemasons. I'm honest, we haven't heard that one yet. Oh my gosh, if I heard that one more time.
Yeah.
She came from such a wealthy family, and her father was a Freemason.
Or the Illuminati's or...
Yeah, it's like, no.
I don't know a lot about Freemasons, but I'm pretty sure they, don't generally get up this kind of stuff. They're just regular guys, as far as I know.
I know a lot, yeah.
I always wonder what the big mystique is.
I don't know. People just like to say these things all the time. Every time they it's got a very wealthy family. They're getting them off, or
Man, nobody's walking away from this.
Mm-mm.
Well, they're not.
So how many days has it been since the authorities have made like an update of any sort?
they put out a press release today, the 20th. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's basically just it was about the Hyundai and that they're looking at everything and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Kind of had to, didn't they? Say something about that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's something else.
It sure was a puzzler.
So what is the etiquette, I suppose, the protocol for naming people?
Well, I mean, you could say, I think, you're not saying, giving an absolute, like, I saw him doing it, So, I mean, you could say, my feeling is strongly that, it's with the boyfriend or whatever. You can do that. You can say that.
Or you can what if it, Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're on the right family.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that.
Because of the car.
Yes.
And the ice cream
No,
post.
not just that.
No.
It's not just that. That has something to do with it, but it ticks a lot of boxes based on the limited amount of information we have. All we really know is that they were stabbed to death. We sort of know where they were. If we believe the little girl's father, the two girls were in one room. The police have not said that. I'm going with he's probably accurate. Just if you go and check all the boxes in the most linear fashion, then what I keep coming back to is a single target by a psychopath. And then you start looking at why psychopaths kill, and that keeps leading me back to a member of the ex-boyfriend's family wanting to hurt him.
Wanting to hurt him.
Wanting to hurt him?
Yes, emotionally hurt him.
Really?
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
And that's just from watching post-incarceration videos of known psychopaths that have killed, and the interviewer asking them why they killed, and one right after the other says, to punish my sister, to punish my wife, to punish my mom, to punish my dad. And so the fact that it was a stabbing, a knife was used, it was targeted, for me, that's the most linear answer, is that it was someone not trying to hurt the girls, but taking the life of one of those two girls in the upper bedroom, was going to punish somebody. And because I really don't know anything about the Maddie's peripheral people, I just haven't gone there. But we have a lot of information about Kaylee's peripheral people.
Right. And you have
And so-
to think too, you have to think to yourself, how many cases over the years have we heard about people paying someone to take care of something? Tell me, just if you could just take a guess, how many cases you've heard over the years where either one or two things happened. Either they got caught busted trying to hire somebody, or they did hire somebody and was successful. So there's so
Again,
many
this is a
variables.
knife. This is a knife murder, though.
Hypothetically, what if somebody said, well, I can't do this, so I need you to do it, and I need you to do it brutally. Here's $10,000. It's
Nah,
not
they're college
uncommon for
kids, man.
cases. It's
These
not
are college
uncommon that
kids.
it's not uncommon that hitman get busted though later on. So there's lots of hypotheticals because we don't have certain amounts of facts and information, and that's why it's not hard to come up with a lot of hypotheticals, especially when you don't have certain criteria, information, and facts. What if he was really brokenhearted and hired somebody? What if somebody else was upset? You just really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Every variable is a variable until you know all the variables. There's so many options that could be possible.
Oh yeah, I thought like, what if it's a guy that, one of the girls has turned down, over several years. Or that was pining after one of them. That's happened a lot. I even
Yes.
thought about Ian Harsh only because he inserted himself into the case, into the investigation the way he did, and he continues to. Which is, a red flag for me.
I mean, when you go back and you look at Chris's videos when he did public press conferences and stuff, I mean, the man was next level. You would, and then, afterwards we go back and watch the videos and stuff back and we're just, oh, there it is. Look at this, look at that. But, when these people are doing press conferences and memorials at times, we don't have any clue what's really going on. And then we find out things later on.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what Mr. Harsh's motive would be, but it's just kind of odd to me the way he's behaved.
Gonzalez, hello. Sorry, Heart.
Oh, that's okay.
Where's your halo at?
Oh, it came off.
And the Ranger.
Julianne, you had you had a question there. I would recommend that you check out the Paris Bennett and interviewed by.
Oh, that kid is crazy.
Oh yeah, I've watched that interview.
Psycho.
Yeah, Piers Morgan interviews him.
Well, that woman mommy brought up.
You
she
can
was
find that on
freaking
YouTube.
crazy.
If you watch Piers Morgan interview Paris Bennett, I think you'll understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it. I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
What a sad, sad case.
Yeah, and I think that there's a really good likelihood that is, unless new information comes along, but just with all the limited things we have, that's the kind of murder this appears to be, to me anyway.
Yeah.
Carolyn,
I was
I heard
Cats.
I was thinking today, which is always a dangerous thing for me to do, but just sort of reasons like people kill and like with colleges. And remember there was that, like even that mother that killed a girl so her daughter could get into the cheerleading squad.
Right.
Crazy things like that. But
jealousy.
if they said like being a crime of passion, and what if it's something completely different, a different crime of passion? It's like, what would get someone so angry that they could inflict that much damage on someone? and why would it involve like all the people? And just having that video of the two girls and like, you know, what did you tell Adam? Like, I told him everything. And that kind of got me thinking. And it's, what if it was something like, so
Hypothetically.
you know, we know but don't know but do know that there's a lot of things like hazing that goes on with you know, in the fraternities and sororities, and they have all crazy rituals
Which they
and stuff
have going
that
on
do.
there.
Yeah, and it's like, what if because humiliation and finding out something, it's like, what if Ethan, because he was kind of a big man on his fraternity, and he was related to something like that, and then he told his girlfriend Zaina, and then she might have leaked it or showed something to one of the other girls, who then might have told Adam, and it got back to someone else. And sort of, you wouldn't want someone to know something.
Or, you know what I just thought of? You said sorority. What if it's the sorority?
Yeah,
but not the girl that kills them, the girl that has a boyfriend that takes care of it for the girlfriend.
That could be too.
That was another thing I was going to say. Everyone says like they think it's a guy, like a girl couldn't do that, but I don't know. Like, have you ever been around?
Maybe
like,
there's certain things though, Cass, they
hormonal?
can see. Like maybe they do have a footprint of like a size 13 shoe.
Yeah,
there's a reason
I really
they
don't
think
it
they're
could be
searching
girl.
for a guy.
No,
But
I really don't.
But there was another murder like that where the boyfriend settled the score for the girlfriend.
Well, I wouldn't rule out that it wasn't a guy and a girl.
No, maybe the girl egging the guy on that. Oh, like, what do we know about their sororities? Which sororities did they belong to? Did they belong to the same one or different ones?
Well, it's interesting that we haven't heard boo out of them.
Because we hear all about Ethan. We hear all about Ethan's fraternity.
I think they belong to different sororities, Carolyn.
What?
Maddie, Zaina.
They belong to different sororities.
Maddie,
I don't know. I'm saying, do they?
Yes, they did belong to different sororities.
Okay.
Maddie and Zaina belong to one sorority, and Kaylee belonged to another sorority.
Okay, so how do we know there wasn't some jealousy there, and one of those girls had a boyfriend? I don't know. That could be something too.
Yeah,
some guy that we haven't heard before. Some guy coming out of this.
That's plot.
Doing something.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, women have gotten men to do their dirty work time immemorial. You know,
it was like, oh, I know what it was. It was like that case somebody told us about the winery where the boyfriend killed the girls, the upstairs roommates.
Yeah, and how many times has it been like, you know, boyfriend kills the girlfriend's parents because, you know, she's gotten him to...
They won't let her go out, or they won't let her be with them, yeah. So how do we know that?
I just think the knife makes this thing really focused. The knife makes it a very particular type of murder.
Yeah, but maybe he was doing something for the girlfriend. Maybe he knew... Well, let's say this now. What if that the problem in the sorority came because she thought somebody slept with her boyfriend?
Yeah, that's what people have killed for less.
Right? And then maybe this guy did. Let's just say he did. And his girlfriend's going to find out, and he better just take care of this problem now.
No.
That would be very personal if he...
It's too simple of a thing to do to kill.
Sometimes it's the most simple
thing. That's pretty logical.
People have killed because they thought someone slept with their significant other lots and lots of times.
What was the reason again? Maybe I heard it wrong.
Okay. What if in this sorority, right? I don't know which one of these girls, let's just say. One of them got into it with another girl because the girl said, I think that one slept with my boyfriend. And let's say maybe it really happened. Okay? If it really happened, then the boyfriend's like, crap, she's going to find out about this, and they're going to, didn't want that to happen. The girlfriend's freaking out, and then he killed her, and then he had to kill everybody. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think he would wait till she was isolated, like watch her, and
It's just at that age, like reputation.
I
is
just
really
think it's
important.
weird. We haven't heard a lot about these sororities. It's almost like they're keeping it really hush hush. I'm just saying. You heard about all these people in these fraternities, and they've dug up the people and
who's not there.
Sororities are so weird. They're like the Illuminati.
This what, sororities?
Yeah, they're like the Illuminati.
Why? My daughter was in a sorority. They were pretty normal.
No, that's how secretive they are.
I don't know.
I thought you said Illuminati.
She did.
They're so secretive. They're so secretive. Well, the Illuminati is really secretive. They're very secretive. They're totally like a sealed tin can when it comes to giving out information.
I lost my membership card, so I don't know the inner workings anymore.
You must remember that. The loyalty.
Okay, so Kaylee was in Alpha Phi.
The loyalty, though, is extensive. I used to date one, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy in reality how one sorority could be completely normal, and then a sorority right next to that one could be totally batshit crazy.
Totally.
It's weird in America how that happens too. It is the truth. You could have one good sorority filled with lots of good people, and then a different sorority with a lot of partiers. So it's like different sororities, different energies, people.
Some of them are like an underworld society. I'm telling you, it's insane.
Has anything been said about that guy that was part of the fraternity across the road? He's kind of like younger, but his social media was like seriously disturbing.
Yes, things have been said about him. He took to social media to defend himself pretty much item by item of what he was accused of. So I'm thinking, I watched it and I think he's innocent.
Yeah.
Because I heard about him briefly and then I didn't hear anything. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
I am really curious what happens with all this audio stuff, because we all know something very bad happened here, and this is the last audio we have. So I'm actually been kind of looking around on all my screens and trying to find information of just how, the depths of conversation people are going with the audio that we have too, because these people are no longer with us, and this is the only audio we have of them before that. And for some reason, I feel like it's important, but I don't know why it's important.
The Adam thing?
No, audio.
Are you talking about the Adam audio or a different
From
audio?
the camera on the side of the building.
Oh.
I think it may be irrelevant because we would have never had that. It's just
But
such
the thing is, they passed away
coincidence.
after that.
But
They were murdered.
It's such a
right
coincidence. But it's such a coincidence that we have that. We may have never had that. And if I don't know, I just think it's a coincidence that we have that, and it may have absolutely nothing to do with it, but we're grasping at straws because that's what we have.
What was said on the audio on the camera?
But the thing is, it doesn't matter if anything to do with the audio is a coincidence. What really does matter is that's some of the last audio we actually have physically of them, and we can hear it all for ourselves and decipher or try to communicate and conversate about what we think's going on with the audio.
Yeah.
These people were murdered, so the audio does matter. It does matter even more than it would if they weren't murdered. You know what I'm saying? And I have been kind of looking around and trying to get different vibes from people about what they think about the last words said from different people.
Well, I can speak a little bit on the Adam thing. Now, this has to do with whether, Kaylee got called as his father. is a reliable source. But he did, I saw him interviewed and he was asked about the audio, what did you say to Adam?
Mm-hmm.
You told Adam everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that they'd had that clip for quite a while before it was given to the public, and that they had asked the police about it, and they were told that it had already been investigated and it was a nothing burger, really.
No, that was so soon after.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they told him to say that. You don't know. And
Well, I mean, that's what he said. So, I mean, yeah, that's what they told him was, he was told that they had investigated that and that, there was nothing, there to, for him to be concerned about.
well, if he's involved, that allegedly makes JD involved. Wouldn't it?
He's involved.
How many people knew that Maddie was going to be there?
Yeah, we don't know that, because, I mean.
Because that was a last minute decision, wasn't it?
I don't think it's going to
Yeah,
go
it
code, Tony. I actually think something is going on in the background.
It was a last minute decision from her, what her mother said. Yeah.
I feel so bad for the mother because she was already home and the mother
I
didn't
know.
want her to go. She was worried
I
about
know.
it.
I
Driving
was
in the weather.
just torn up watching her interview. That poor woman.
And who knew?
Thinking if only.
Who knew she had the new car? I mean, it's had to be somebody they knew personally, because she was the target. It's obvious.
How did she save up for that herself? Like, because that was sort of like a $28,000 car.
I'm not sure, but I've heard something about a sign-on bonus.
Okay. Did any of them have a fans only page? I saw that somewhere.
I'm sorry, what?
Did any of the girls have a fans only page?
No,
they didn't. That's just a nasty rumor.
That was me, Tony. I was just saying I don't think it's going to go code, brother. I'm pretty sure they got stuff going on in the background.
Do we know where Barry Morphew is?
It's like Hillbilly was saying, you go to the official website for the police or the IdahoStatesman.com and you look at all the information we have, and there is a lot of stuff missing. If you compare this case with other cases with as many victims, and there's a lot of stuff missing. So it's like they're working behind the scenes and they don't want to give out too much and lose sensitive court what's it called, evidence. You don't want to rush the gun sometimes and accidentally screw up something that'll have a big effect later on in court.
Exactly. Yep.
I've always been under the impression that they know what they're doing and they know who they're after.
Yep.
And given that they had day 2 of their investigation, they already had that car, the white car, and that was from video surveillance from across the road. And it's like we didn't hear about that for a long time.
Right.
But they were onto it straight away. And yeah, I think we just need to be a little bit more patient and a little bit more trusting in the authorities. Like, they know what they're doing.
And they didn't go look at that car quick enough. They must have the car.
Yeah.
See little things like that, how they're not responding like FBI and police normally would to certain things. It's just.
Yeah, they've got
that's just
somebody
too good
in
to be
mind
true,
already. I'm betting. The first night that I came into this group, I suggested that the most obvious target was not Kaylee, but was Maddie, because the murders occurred in her room. Her room was easily identified, and it was the most logical pathway to go was straight up and to the room that had an M in the window.
She ticks the most amount of like boxes for the usual, like statistically the usual crime. Like if it's, because I always thought with the dog and she's leaving, and what if he's invested in this relationship and he's poured his heart out and he thinks he's like punching above his weight, and they get to the end, you know, she's leaving university and then they break up, and then he just feels like I've been used, and you know, he's the one that's always like paid for everything and done everything for her and been there, and sort of, even those dogs, they cost like, here they cost her $3,000 to $4,000 to design a dog, and that's a lot, but it's like an investment in their future because he's planning on staying with her together. And then he finds out he's just been used, and she's moving on and has already moved on, and he's just like really hurt, sort of like, and realizes the whole time that he was just more convenient, and he feels a lot more love for her than she ever did for him. You know?
All of that's just conjecture, though. I'm talking about what we know. We know two girls were murdered in the third.
From Matt to Kaylee? What changed your mind? What changed your mind from Maddie to Kaylee?
For me?
Yeah, what changed your mind from Maddie to Kaylee being the target?
Listening to y'all. And telling me that the boy was punching above his weight and all of the things that the constable just said, but basically. But
was he the one that got kicked out of the fraternity as well? No, he's not kicked out. Or was that the other? I get mixed up between all the J's. Like
no, and yeah, I would recommend.
That's not true. That's a rumor.
Yeah, I was about to say I would recommend that you go and read through the website the police department has, and there's a couple of really good sources on the internet if you'll look. About 75% of everything that people think is known is just something that came from a TikTok video or a Facebook group and is not factual. But what we do know is that
I'm gonna go. Sorry to interrupt.
Good night. I'm soon behind you myself.
Okay.
Rest well, Scooter.
Okay.
Good night,
You too.
Good night, Scooter.
Good night.
I'm not going to be
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
Love you guys.
Good night.
You too.
Yes.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Carolyn,
Yes.
you heard me?
I said good night, Scooter.
I said love ya.
No, love you, Scooter.
Love you, Scooter. Not this again.
I'll be in trouble.
Okay.
Okay, love you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Do you love me, Scooter?
Night,
No,
Scooter.
we know the girls were
She
killed.
didn't
in
answer
that
you,
one
Kat.
room.
You didn't answer her.
She didn't.
What?
She did not respond.
Kat's asked
love
if
me,
you loved
Scooter?
her.
Oh my.
I'm just starting trouble.
Hey, John boy.
I'm sensing a lack of
She's
Christmas
taking
spirit
a
from
long
Scooter.
pause before she's thinking
asked?
very
Really long pause. Longest
Yes,
pause
I'm
I've ever
worried
seen her
about that,
take.
Scooter. I'm worried about that.
I'm just being a troublemaker.
Oh, love you too, cats.
That didn't sound very sincere.
What about me, Scooter?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
No.
Sorry, blame me if anything starts it. I've got to go too.
Yeah, I'm going to go too because I have to probably, that's my only day to do anything tomorrow. And watch,
No pressure.
you listen to what happens, and just every time I plan to do something, we have a case, and I go out,
The one night I'm awake.
it all breaks loose.
Yep.
I know.
So we might have an arrest tomorrow, or that, it always happens when I go out.
What's your secret weapon?
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
We'll see.
Good
But good
night.
night. Thank you guys
Good
for all
night.
coming up. That was very nice, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless. Prayers for all that need them. And we'll see. I've got to figure out how to end this here.
Peaceful night, everyone.
Good night.
It was nice talking with everyone.
Yeah, it was really nice to hear your voice, Video Real. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, nice to talk to you.
Leave
Video
meeting.
Real.
I can't find a leave meeting.
And thank
What?
you everyone for
Oh.
smashing the like button.
Up at the
I
top.
apologize for every time I called you sweetie.
It's
and
on the
cat
bottom
Video Real.
there. Do you see it? I can't find the
find it.
live too. Yeah, why I'm just perplexed.
I'll find it.
I
Hopefully.
can't find my live to end my live. I feel like I'm back in the. Let me see.
All of us are carrying on in here. I didn't know that the live.
Well, I didn't. It's not ended yet, Sharon, because I can't get back into it. Yeah, I've got to go into it.
Do you need me to help?
No, I'm pretty good. I just have to get in here. No, I think I found it. Okay. And,
Nope, I don't have a leave meeting button.
Oh, okay.